Imagine thinking you're in a happy marriage, only to find out your spouse has been secretly tearing you down, betraying your trust, and planning a weekend getaway with someone else. This is the story of how I uncovered the truth, faced heartbreak, and took control of my life, one tough step at a time. A few years ago, I thought my marriage was solid. We were your typical suburban professional couple, financially secure, healthy, with two amazing kids. Sure, we had rough patches like any couple, long work hours, stress from our son's struggles, and tension growing in the house. But I believed we were still a team. Then I noticed something strange. My wife was spending more and more time on her phone, texting her girlfriends. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe she just needed friends to lean on. I started trying harder, leaving work earlier, helping around the house, being emotionally available. But the distance between us kept growing. One day, I charged an old iPad for my son and saw her Facebook Messenger still logged in. I noticed messages between her and a guy from her hometown, let's call him JBC. The messages weren't outright inappropriate, but something felt off. I decided to keep an eye on it. The next day, I secretly opened her messenger on the iPad at work. I watched in real time as she tore me down with JBC mocking my flaws, insecurities, even my bedroom performance. The messages started getting more overtly sexual, with JBC sprinkling in "I love yous." She was deleting messages as the conversation unfolded, but I managed to screenshot enough. I wasn't ready to confront her. I stayed at work late, drank to numb the pain, and tried to figure out what to do. She asked what was wrong, and I lied, said I had a bad day. Meanwhile, the messages kept coming. For weeks, I took screenshots, drank, and emotionally detached. I knew there was no going back. I consulted a lawyer and started preparing. Then I found out JBC was coming to town to spend a weekend with her at a hotel. The next day, she suggested a girls' spa weekend to relax and focus on our marriage afterward. I played along, eager to get my plan in motion. I had a separation agreement drafted with fair terms and told her she had to move out. On the day she left, I withdrew half the joint money, closed shared accounts, and printed 75 pages of screenshots. At the hotel, I called the front desk and asked to be connected to JBC's room. He denied everything. I gave him 5 minutes to send my wife down. 2 minutes later, she came down, flustered. I laid out the screenshots and told her the only way to keep them from our daughter, her parents, and our social circle was if she moved out immediately. She cried, pleaded, and tried to explain, but I stood firm. I gave her the check for her half and the separation agreement to sign. Told her to go have fun with JBC and warned her not to come back. After she left, I had a private breakdown, crying and rage, but pulled myself together quickly. She kept calling, texting, begging for forgiveness. I shut it all out. We settled into a new normal. She visited the kids a few nights a week, cleaned, cooked, but I kept my distance. Months later, I started therapy, was diagnosed with depression and PTSD, and reduced work hours. I told her I couldn't forgive her yet, but was open to an amicable divorce and maybe someday trying again. She agreed, devastated, but hopeful. Our kids chose to stay with me, and when the divorce finalized, I got the house and primary custody. Now I live with my kids, work part-time, and she pays child support. I'm the patron saint of fatherhood in their eyes. She regrets losing me and sometimes comes back for more, but I know this chapter is closed. This is how my divorce turned out: painful, messy, but ultimately empowering. If you've ever faced betrayal or tough breakups, drop a comment below. Hit subscribe for more real stories of heartbreak, revenge, and moving on. You're not alone.